After much exploration with the basic concepts of fractions and dividing into equal parts, you can start introducing more formal concepts of fractions to your learners. You may now start using the actual phrase of fractions and define it as being when a whole is divided into equal smaller parts. You can start teaching your learners that the parts have specific names depending on how many parts they have been divided into. Do not start to teach the learners any fraction symbols until they are ready to understand and are more comfortable with the basics of fractions, as the symbols may confuse them. Try to invest in or make your own fraction models that you can stick on the board. Go through every model slowly to ensure the learners understand how it has been divided, the name of the part, such as half, quarter, thirds, and so on. Looking at this slide, start with the top fractions and then move down. As you go along, compare each fraction with the previous one to show the size differences. If your learners are ready, show them how each part is written in number form and written form. After going through each of these fractions, ask what your learners notice. They should say that they can see that the bigger the number, the smaller the piece is. Later in grade 3, you can explain the fraction symbol properly. Explain that it is always written as one number with a line underneath with another number under the line. When writing a fraction, always start with the bottom number. You can tell them that this is called the denominator, but it is not essential for learners to know that in foundation phase. The bottom number will always be how many parts the whole has been divided into. So, if a pizza is divided into 3 slices, you would write 3 at the bottom. The top number is called the numerator, and it is how many parts that you have or have been taken away or shaded and so on. So, if you take 1 slice of that pizza, you would write a 1 on top. If you took 2 slices, you would write a 2 on top. In this example, there are 4 parts of this rectangle. 3 of the 4 parts have been shaded in. This would be written as a fraction of 3 over 4, or 3/4. Here is another example. The circle is divided into 4 equal parts. 3 of the 4 parts have been shaded. Therefore, you show your learners to first write the number at the bottom, which is 4, and then the number at the top, which is 3. Tell them that this is called 3/4. You may also ask, what fraction of the circle is not shaded? And the learners would respond, 1 over 4, or they can say 1/4. All of the parts of the circle together could be written as 4 over 4, which is the same as a whole. A regional model to introduce fractions is comprised of real objects which can be divided into equal parts. For example, 1 cake can be shared between 3 people by cutting it into thirds. Ask your learners how 2 pizzas can be shared between 8 people. They will say that you can cut the pizza into quarters, and so that each person will get 1 slice. Or you could cut the pizza into eighths, and then each person would get 2 slices. Allow your learners to try and figure out different problems on their own first, and encourage them to use the correct fractional language. A length model is usually comprised of long strips of paper, sticks, and so on of varying sizes. This model is very useful when trying to compare the different sizes of fractions, and to show learners how the more you divide something up, the smaller the fraction becomes. Set models are when there are a certain amount of objects being taken from a set. For example, there are 10 eggs in this box. That is the set. Taking 1/5 of the eggs in the set would mean taking 2 eggs. Or if you have 6 oranges, taking half of the oranges means taking 3 of them. In grade 3, you can start using and introducing more fractional vocabulary once all of the learners have grasped the basic concepts of fractions. You can use more advanced vocabulary such as factors, improper and mixed fractions, rational numbers, and so on. You must not make foundation phase learners actually do any of the work that involves these concepts, but you can start familiarizing them to these concepts so that they do not seem so foreign later on in intermediate phase.